Good morning from CME Traveling, guys. How are y'all doing this morning out there in travel land across the world? Yeah, how's everybody going? Hope everyone's doing well. And today's Friday. Today is Friday, May the 1st. It's gonna be May. Today is 2026. It's still the same year, of course. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Pretty good moves. Finally got some. I got some decent sleep. Went to bed last night. It's still light outside. A little bit of light anyway. And then I woke up about 12. Was up for a little bit. Went back to bed. About an hour later on, Marsha did about the same thing. And she's on her way to work. She's driving Trinity today, or I should say, Trinity's driving her to work today. So we'll see how that goes. Interesting to hear, because she's got to go there. She's going to have to plug it in and charge the car so she can get back home. She could probably make it close to back home, or at least to a supercharger. But they have chargers there where she works. We'll see what she does. It's interesting. Already was on. There's an app that comes with. It's like the brain of everything for the car, and you're supposed to leave this app always open. Anyway, and she didn't have it open. I was like, you need to leave this open. Anyway, she'll do like she tells me. I'll do what I need to do. But anyway. So she's in the car this morning, and we're in this area right here that we live in, starting in North Carolina, running all the way to about midways in middle of Virginia. At least it's called 100-mile. We have it here. Been having it for years, ever since I've lived here. They've had it for many, many years. I don't know how many this is that they've had, but it's a 100-mile yard sale. And there'll be people all up and down US 29, and they have it in different states and different areas. Even this state, they have it on several different roads here. Usually, of course, it ain't going to be on the interstate, but real quick, John Gaylor, I see a question about you. And thank you, John, for being in here this morning. Appreciate you. How much does it cost to recharge the car? It varies. Some kilowatts will cost you as low as 29 cents, and then some will cost, and then it's percentage. The car goes down by percentage, just like a fuel. You get below a half a tank, that would be below 50%. You're not supposed to charge the car. We leave the car charged about 80% for around here, just kind of like you do your cell phones nowadays. We charge it all the way to 100% when we're going to go a long way. Well, I didn't know that Marsha would be driving it today. I just kind of said, hey, you want to drive the car today, so that we could, gas prices and stuff like that. It helped implement that. And I paid as much as the most expensive kilowatt hour that I have paid so far is 38 cents per kilowatt. And which right now, I think the most expensive I've ever paid, it finally broke $20 when we were in Florida. Somewhere near Miami, it was more costly. And I paid $20 for a charge. And that was to get me fully charged. But I was also down probably below 15%. And that's all the car had was 15%. And you want to charge it up when you leave it and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. It's fairly cheap. It's but it does take. Superchargers don't take that long. So I don't care. It's a farce of whatever anybody says that it takes forever. You can do these, and you just put your destination in, and then I'll finally get off this subject. And then it will tell you places to charge, so that when you're getting to your destination, it'll even show you how much percentage you have, and you can adjust that to whatever you want when you get there. Like if I want to be at 80%, well then they're going to probably find me at least one more charging station before I get there. But it will, first thing it'll spit out to you on there when you put that in is where, you know, basically it's going, it can tell you how much it's going to cost you. It's going to already know each one of them cost a certain amount, and it'll tell you how long you need to charge for. And the way them things charge is you can get 30-40% in what it takes usually to fill a car up. You can get it probably, maybe take a little bit longer than that, but it ain't much. It's always time for me to go to the restroom or get me a snack or stretch a little bit. Anyway, let's get into today's thing. Was talking about, I found this question. Not really, I didn't find the question like this. I made the question into this. It was talking about things that you do when you leave your cruise cabin, or it could be at a hotel or something like that. You know, some things that you, I guess what I call prepare, so that if the room steward's going to come in or something like that. Almost every time, usually I don't do some of these so much late in the evening because the room steward's already been there, unless it's one of those where the room steward comes in twice to the room. And in Carnival, which we've been cruising a lot more lately, you don't get that so much. You know, you just get the one-time service unless you're in a higher, you know, where they're going to come in more than once, you know. But, you know, leaving used towels. Do you leave your used towels on the floor? Or do you make sure that if, hey, I'll probably use this again, go ahead and hang it up? Or are you somebody that just leaves your crap everywhere? You know, in other words, you don't pick up after yourself. You don't pick up anything. And just like me and Marsha, I mean, I even semi make the bed up. I mean, we put the covers back up, put the pillows back where they should go. I truly don't believe in, that's just something I was taught. You know, I taught to make the bed every day I get up, every day of my life. Whether or not somebody's going to be in that room or not, it's just, I feel like that's a good habit to have. And then when I get in it, it always feels, you know, feels fresh. But, you know, same thing about being on a vacation. It doesn't take but a second to make a bed up, you know, or throw the sheet back up, I should say it that way. You know, make it a little easier. Like, you know, you don't want, I don't know how much of an impact a person's going to have, but, you know, we unplug, I always go back and unplug and cut off lights. Because some lights don't cut off just because you touch that main on and off switch there at the door. Like the light over the vanity, sometimes they don't cut off. I go back and cut anything and everything off. But anyway, we usually hang up a few towels. Marsha says, like, I didn't really use this one at all. And then, of course, used towels, I like to pile in the floor. I don't just leave a used towel hanging and it's soaking wet. Or, you know, I probably wouldn't leave one soaking wet anyway. I'll wring it out. But also something is adjust the thermostat. You know, when we leave out, sometimes I've not adjusted the thermostat, and some rooms are hotter and they get hotter as the day. And I read where somebody put, it's a lot easier to warm these rooms up than it is to cool them down of cabins. So that is true. I always cut mine almost all the way down. I think, you know, the worker herself, they're going to be working, you know, it's going to be hot on them. Why not make it cool? You know, you do that for yourself or the worker. It's up to you. Like I said, unplug electrical items, unplug your phone, unplug anything you have plugged in. You would think, you know, some of them, they used to say, you know, make sure you have them unplugged. Because when you cut that light off at the main switch when you walk out there, if you do, and you don't have a card sitting in there, it cuts the power to it anyway on some of that stuff. I know on MSC, it knows when you're in the room or not, and it'll cut that off. On some MSC ships, There's a light that comes on when it knows there's nobody in the room. Yeah. But also balcony check, close and lock the door. I no matter what, and I know good and well there ain't nothing out there on that balcony that I've left, but I still open it up and look. You know, it's just kind of like, you know, leaving your house. You know, if you're going to leave it very long, you're going to go, hopefully go and check the doors, check your windows and stuff and see if they're locked. That's just something we do. I'd love to hear before I get to any others. I'd love to hear anything else that y'all do behind yourself before you leave the room, whether you do it for the room, the attendant coming in, or just to make things easier on yourself. You know, little one real quick is I like to make sure I have a water in the little cooler, so when I get back, I'm always dry mouthed and everything, and they just want a drink of something. All right, guys, let's see who's in here and let's speak to everybody. Thanks everybody again. Thank you for rewatching. Anybody that's going to be rewatching us, appreciate it. Give a big thumbs up. Leave a message in here that you rewatched. John Gaylor says we use our towels a couple of times before we put them on the floor to be replaced. Yeah, we definitely try to do that. I think to unplug stuff and find them unplugged and find them unplugged every day. Always keep the temperature set as low. Yeah, that's exactly how we do there, John. And good morning to you. Top of the morning, DT Cruiser. How are you doing? Hope your weather. You're gonna have some. Look like we're gonna have some rain tomorrow. I guess you'll get it tomorrow up that way. And let me get my mic fixed right there. I always time fooling with it. And there is Scott McNeil. Good morning. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope you have a great weekend too, Scott. Somewhere in here, and I know they were in here pretty early. Where are they at? There they are. Good morning there, TNT's Adventures 2C. Hope your weekend is amazing. Hope yours is too. Any plans for us? No, looking like tomorrow's going to be nothing but a rain out for the most part. I may venture out today and we plan on fixing some hot dogs or having something like that. I'd like to have some hot dogs. I forgot to get Marsha some slaw, so she likes some green slaw with her hot dog. Yeah, I have to make sure I go get the right stuff. I had forgot it. I got chili, you know. We don't really fix anything homemade like that because it's just me and her and not enough point to fix very much. But I love some homemade chili. I'm talking about for a hot dog chili. You know, used to love to go. There was a church near where I lived at as a teenager, and they would do hot dog sales and would send out for hot dogs there. Also, there was a little dairy bar that had great hot dogs near where my parents lived too. I noticed that this time, too, John, the room steward would always unplug our stuff. Yeah, I had that too, Tom. You know, there wasn't but 2 times. I think we left something plugged in, and it usually was one of the phone chargers. Now, they didn't move them or anything. They just unplugged them. And I don't mind that one bit, especially if I forgot it and left it plugged in. I don't mind that at all. Controversial Cruising. Good morning, Scott. Scott is a busy man hosting shows and everything, and I'm sure there's something coming on tonight, Scott, that you can probably drop in here and tell everybody about. So Magic, Fabric Magician. Good morning. Thank you so much for being in here with us today. I hope you have a good weekend. Let's see, the Moonlight Adventures. And I'm sure Moonlight is also a bunch that they've done a lot of traveling when it comes to this Tesla and done, you know, they know as much, if not more, especially he knows his, more of the tech talk. I should say it that way. I know Josh does. Let's see, Cruise Life. Thank you so much for afternoon to you, by the way. Kat and Matt, good morning. Thanks for being in here this morning. Let's see, you're driving and listening there. Let's see what John Gaylor right here. The first time I found our stuff unplugged, I thought I had forgot to plug them in. I was charging camera batteries. Yeah, for the next time I figured it out, I asked her to not unplug them and she didn't. Oh, I've never asked them not to unplug something because I figure it's saving money. That's what I was told by one of them one time, was the reason they unplug them was, at least on MSC is what they told us, that that it, to help keep costs down, unplug your stuff when you're not in the room, And they might have meant something like the hair dryer, which most of them have hair dryers in them. Some of them now, they have hair dryers and you plug it in yourself. I know Marsha loves when there's no hair dryer in the drawer. That is a peeve of hers. If you've ever seen any of her videos of her doing a room tour, a cabin tour, she swears up and down a man must have made it to where you open the drawer and there's the, it's plugged in and it's in the drawer, but yet you got to open the drawer, and it is an inconvenience. It doesn't make no sense to me either why they just don't put one in there. More to see, M and J. Thanks for being in here this morning. Trisha sets sail. Good morning to you. Thank you so much, DT Cruiser. Poll. Well, we will get right on that right there. Let me see if I can. I promised myself I was going to jump. Yeah. Thank you so much there. Appreciate that, DT. Let's see. Let's move on through here. Danny Dizzle moving up in here. How you doing? Good morning. Let's see. How much? Oh, I already answered that. Just curious. Homeward bound BTT, Bone Tired Travelers, I should say it that way. Our costs are between $12 to $20, and I'm assuming that's probably percentage wise, according to what you're probably at least down 50% or more. But like I said, we pull in. We don't always charge up to 100%. So the car will tell you, hey, you have enough to make it to your next destination. Usually if you make sure you tell it. But just because you make it to that next destination, you got to make sure there's somewhere nearby that is your following destination after that might be a little further. Just like he said, that's on average of a cost. Yeah. I coming home, I paid as little as $4.50 just to get us on home. And I was in Rockingham, which is a little over 2 hours away from home. And it still got me home. And I still had I think I still had like 30%. So I just wanted to be safe. And you just never know. You never know what could disrupt or anything. That's why, especially in the winter, you keep those cars charged. Definitely. Good morning there, Marsha of CME Traveling. She is driving and listening right now. Wow. You can go broke before the 10th mile. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the yard sales? You're not kidding. We even did the yard sale here one time. I mean, even though we're about 2 miles off of the main road, but everywhere, up and down every little road, every little town through here, even if they're right on US 29 or just off of US 29, there's yard sales on every little country road in this part of Virginia right today, this weekend. It's always the first weekend in May and the first weekend in October is when they do that. It's about 32 cents per kilowatt in most places. Yeah, I've seen that that is an average, is probably definitely that 32-cent mark. Still not bad though. Good morning there, Sea Leg Journeys. Chet, make sure you holler back there at Robin and tell her good morning. And y'all will be coming up here at 8:30 for Friday motivational. And he got his clickbait out on the thumbnail, so be sure y'all run over there and say good morning. Let me run through here a little bit more. Sea Leg Journeys. My dogs are driving me crazy this morning, he said. Let's see. The Moonlight Adventure said they went 900 miles for about $68. That's right. You know, from this part of Virginia to all the way down there to Port of Miami is, I think it's just 3 miles shy of being 900 miles. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. I know going down, for some reason I spent more going down than I did coming home. I don't know why that it happens that way, even in a fuel vehicle. I have no clue why that is. I think sometimes it's according to who's driving. You know, if you are going to drive at 75, 80, 85, Marsha, it's going to use more power. It's going to use more fuel. Either vehicle is going to use more. Marsha's figuring out, like, driving to work. Yeah, like going down in the mornings, she don't drive that fast, so she doesn't use as much fuel. But coming home, man, it's one or the other. I don't know which way it is. I'm sure she'll let us know. John Gaylor, that's not as bad as gas. Just have to do it more often. There you go, John. Also, sometimes, John, if door to door, you know, if it says, you know, like you could drive nonstop and something will say, hey, it's going to take 10 hours. You know, that's not even, that when you put that in there, that don't even account for fuel or anything, whether it's gas or electric. I noticed that the electric car is usually anywhere from 20 minutes to 20 minutes longer. It's, you know, or longer than that to get to a destination. Not much more. I mean, but then the fuel, I mean, then the cost reflects that, by the way. So that's a good thing. Cruising on comps. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for being in here this morning. Folks in here hollering at him. Let's see. The Moonlight is who you hollering at here? JG, your time is the biggest cost. We've started out we've started figuring out how to mission plan better and more. That's me, Josh. Efficient. That I've told Marsha, I was like, sometimes I should just listen to what Tesla, the car, or Trinity, whatever she tells us. If she says, hey, you're gonna go here and you're only gonna get this percentage, but then you're gonna go on to the next one, and it'll get you that much further of, say, 200-300 miles. And I notice sometimes when I listen to the car instead of doing what I want, I like to charge the car as much as possible and get as much out of it as possible. Kind of like you would filling up for, you know, a fuel car. And that, for some reason, takes a lot longer. That'll put more time on you. Yeah. So more to see. M&J says they hang a towel. I was wondering if anybody else was going to participate in answering any of this. Cruising on comps. Chris says, and I saw Chris's room. You can see his cabin tour. It's really good. That is a neat cabin. It's got 2 bathrooms in it. Make sure you do check that out. I think we had that same kind of layout cabin, Chris, on the Carnival of Venezia, and I love that cabin. That is a, you know, it's a good sized cabin. It's they usually have it. It just doesn't have a balcony, you know. And but it's a big cabin. He said he's a neat freak. He said, I'm one of those that cleans the room before they come to clean the room. Yeah, we straighten up our room always. Feeling fresh today, huh? So Magic says, me too. I clean up and pick up before they come in. Yeah, yep. Let's see. Moonlight says, being productive and knocking out the task first thing sets the tone for the day. Yep. John Gaylor right here said, I would like to have the room steward to come home with me. Yeah, they are neater than me. And I can't make that. Yeah, I have to say, I enjoy those towel animals right there. Go Wilson Travel. Thank you so much for being in here. How are y'all doing? Hope you're doing very well. And what's your next plans coming up? This is a great travel agents right here. They put out some great videos and do a lot of things. Thank you again. I'm assuming this is Debbie or Deborah. I don't know which one I call you. I forget. Miss Heather, my sis. Thanks for being here, sis. Let's see. We keep it cold. Always have a fan blowing too. Lee, how are you doing? Lee's doing some work on some videos this morning. Thanks so much. Big old blanket hello from Danny Dizzle. Said, almost at work, y'all, and keep an eye on Zach Scott. He said Cheryl for me. Let's see. Under the beds and the cabinets too. Under the beds. Duff Fam Adventures, thanks for being in here. Let's see, Sea Leg Journeys. I'm more or less fresh today. Is that right? Let's see. Josh is almost at the office. Marsha says, visions, does it say visions? In most rooms, I don't know. I don't think that's what she meant. In most rooms tell you whether the person is in the room or not. I don't know what you meant to say right there. John Gaylor says, if you get a room with a motion sensor, take a balloon, yeah, and a string with you to keep the AC working. You don't need to blow it up. Yeah, it just needs to move around, don't it, John? At least it will for a little while. The Fam Adventures. We reuse our towels. We keep our cabin picked up so the steward doesn't have much to do. And we sometimes skip service altogether. Really, I have never told them not to come in. I have in hotel rooms and stuff like that, or when we've been at an all-inclusive, we've told them like, hey, you don't even need to come in today. And I feel like, hey, I'm at least saving them some work. We've done that, but I never have on a cruise. I've never told them, hey, you don't need to do anything. Also, one reason keeping that room, me and Marshall like to go back to the room and just crash. You know, it could be right after breakfast. And one day, I know he didn't get to our room because we just kind of stayed in the room for a little while longer, like in different periods of the morning and into the afternoon, because we had a lot going on. So we were going back and forth. And I don't think he got to our room till 1 or 2 o'clock, which is late, really. And one day he cleaned the rooms backwards. I noticed that he usually started on our end and then went the other way, because we were all the way forward on the ship. Let's see. Bone Tired Traveler says we would leave clothes on the couch and that's right. They folded your clothes, didn't they? That's right. I knew somebody else had their stuff folded by the room steward. I don't think we left a couple of things out, but I never noticed if they folded it. Now I know we, sent out for, laundry. Of course, that came back very folded, very neat. Cat and Matt said, good morning, everyone. Sorry for a shameless plug, but Cat and I really use a hand. We are under 100 hours. and to go for their 3,000. So could you please help us out? Yep, will do. Thanks for sharing. There is where you can find Cat and Matt. Let's see, Marsha. This Tesla drove around the curb on two wheels whoa, I love this car. Marsha, there is no need to have it in Mad Max today. No, 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 Marsha. Mad Max, y'all, is it's a. I'm not even going to get into what is green slaw. It's it's coleslaw. Put on a hot dog. That's what she likes. Let's see. Good morning there, Mom. Thanks for being in here. Love you. The Ahab Show. Good morning. It is all uphill going back home. It could be. So there's a lot of going back. Yeah, for us it is. A little bit getting into North Carolina. You really don't start into any hills till you get up almost into North Carolina, till you start a little bit of elevation. And we're not real high off the elevation. We're where we live at, I think it's only like 880, from sea level. So this ain't real high here. I live more in what I call outer foothills, and not 20 minutes above me or 30 minutes from me is where the Blue Ridge and the mountains and stuff like that start. Let's see. Oh yes. Well, is Marsha? Now you can't say Marsha's the lead foot, even though she is in control of that car, and she did set Mad Max. The one underneath that setting is called hurry mode. Hurry mode is plenty. Marsha, your foot is too heavy. Be careful. See? And that ain't even Marsha's foot, but that she has control of it. Tell her. Gotta run, but we will see y'all at Sea Legs Freaky Friday. Yep. Good morning there, Ocean to Ocean Travel. Lord, I'm running over, guys, again today. Let me run on through here a little bit. I'm going to mark where I'm at here, and I'm going to close out the question for today. Do you do this before you leave your cruise cabin or hotel room? Put used towels on the floor and stuff like that, 52%. I knew that would probably get the most, and I agree with it. Do a balcony check, 24% of y'all said that. Unplug electric items, 14%. And, a lot of folks, and what's funny is I won't unplug nothing when I'm in a hotel room. Adjust the cabin thermostat, 10% of y'all. Thank y'all so much for voting today. I'm going to go ahead and y'all run over there to Chet again. I hate running over, and I'm running over about 4 or 5 minutes, which is very unusual. Let's see. Tricia says, I drive so much through Atlanta twice a day. Oh, slowly during the rush hour. I find that when the road opens, I tend to drive as faster because I'm tired of crawling. Yeah, I'm sure that happens a lot. That was my thought. You're going uphill when you go home. Takes more power. You're still going up no matter how it is. Marsha says, home is faster than going to work, so I use more gas coming home. Cruising on comps, that cabin has so much room for activities. Yeah, that was a very nice cabin. Ocean's letting us know that they clean their cabin before they leave it. I'd say Bruce does all that. Let's see. Tricia says, is that deluxe ocean view? I had one of those with 2 bathrooms. No, actually, it might be a deluxe, but we had one that was an interior. Nope, it was an ocean view. It should have been probably a balcony, but it was an ocean view. And man, those things have a lot of room in them. A whole lot of cabin space. Some folks in here saying hello to Go Wilson Travel. That's wonderful. And Bruce said, I am working on the next video trip. Wow, Bruce, already trip that he's going to if I'm not mistaken, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Bruce, it's going to be about what all happened before the cruise. This is still pre-cruise for the Carnival Horizon, but it still has to take place. You know, it's all a part of it. He's going to include a few things. Television in most rooms tells staff if you are in the room. Television does? I didn't know the television did. Okay. And we're down here at the bottom. Y'all have a great weekend. So do you, Ron. Yes, he said it's going to be a little bit about, it's going to be a lot about Little Havana. We all went and visited. And I know exactly this noise that she's making. Vroom, vroom. That means she's going as fast as she can. And she didn't finish that out because she usually says vroom, vroom, and then she adds a little something. But we're not going to say that, are we, Marsha? All right, guys, again, thank you so much for being in here. Thanks for the super chat there, DT Cruiser. We do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all members for being in here. Y'all really make this excited to do this. Once I get up and do this every day, it makes me feel better about getting up and having something to do and getting my day started. I do appreciate every one of y'all being in here and talking with us and participating in everything. Thank y'all so much. Have a great weekend. Have a blessed weekend, guys. And you know what? Let's see. This is CME Traveling, and I'm out of here, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.
Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, 'cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, 'cause all